Recording. All right. So I talked a little bit about sovereignty and a couple minutes ago. So that'll be kind of a theme for us to tap into our sovereignty and to trust that we are sovereign beings and we have choices. And sometimes we have to step up and make difficult choices. But we'll start with centering around that and just to represent the feeling of freedom and sovereignty. And sovereignty to me is being able to choose what it is I want and moving through that rather than having someone else dictate to me what to eat, what to think, what to feel, any of those things. So to represent that freedom, if you would just take your arms out, turn your palms up, and just, I had a dance instructor back in the 70s that told me you really can't feel closed if your arms are open. So just imagine yourself free. Maybe these could be wings and you're flying. Um, Birds are free. They fly, and um, we don't really have that ability, but we can achieve the feeling of freedom by intending for it. And a body uh, pose can represent that freedom. So just you could even lift your chin a little bit as though you're looking up to the heavens and connecting with that source energy. Open your chakra, the top of your head, your Sahasrara crown chakra, and allow yourself to be a conduit for communication with source energy. And that can be feeling it, hearing it, um, seeing it in your mind's eye, your third eye. But arms are open to it and our freedom, our sovereignty. And just bring your focus to your breath. If your arms just get really tired, you can certainly let them down. Um, this is not a torture, it's just a symbol for openness and freedom. Feel your breath flow. Maybe as you breathe, you can feel your shoulders and arms expand and relax, the same as your abdomen. And then if you want to, we did this little exercise before we turned on the recording, but if you want to tune into emotions and nervous system, see what you're feeling around your nerves. your emotions. And certainly muscles and joints. Just a little scan to see what feels good, what feels tight. And then just bring your palms in together and we'll attune to breath, breathing arms up overhead like we often do. And exhale with a long exhale, lowering down. And just one more round of breathing in as you lift, open, and breathe out. All right. And then just come around. We'll come into puppy stretch to start with our moves today. Stretching shoulders, and then lift up. We'll loosen our spines with some cat. So just bring your knees underneath your hip bones and palms under your shoulders. Start in neutral spine, nice and long. Extend through your neck and your tailbone. Just a nice straight line, not rigid, just long. And starting with your deep breath, exhale and draw your navel to spine. Lift up, moving through your spine, chin to your chest in the arching cat. And then reverse, starting with your tailbone, lift and roll through your spine until you lift your chin. And continue on. Exhale, draw your navel in, curl in on yourself. And then roll through your spine. Take it slow and stretch each vertebra as well as you can. And once more in each direction, arching cat and rounded cat. End with your rounded cat, chin into your chest, and then lift your left knee up towards your nose and just hold there for a couple of breaths. Try to get in close. And then take your left leg out behind you and loosen your ankle. Circle around and flex and point. And bring your knee back down, and we'll repeat with the other leg.
Draw your right knee towards your nose. See if you can touch. Mwah. And stretch your leg out behind you and loosen your ankle with some circles. And then bring your knee back in and just come down onto your forearms or even your elbows and circle around in your wrists. We've been in flexion for a little bit, so we want to loosen up our wrists. And squeezing and opening fingers. And then just come back up on hands and knees. And then stretch your right leg out behind you. Come onto the ball of that foot, press through the heel. Give that a stretch before we move on. You can contract it coming up onto the toes and press back if that feels good for you. Okay, so pressing through your right heel, just lift your left leg. So you're on your right ball of the foot. Lift your left leg up. Now, you'll need to come over a little bit onto your left hand, but see if you can reach through your right fingertips with your leg up. So just find your balance and hold, hold, hold. And then come back down. Let your knees down and come into your puppy. That's a challenging one, just kind of fun to try. Build some strength in your arms. And we'll lift back up. Just reach your left leg back. Place the ball of your foot on the floor. And just work with that, pressing the heel down, coming up on the toes, pressing the heel away. Okay, now press down on the foot and back and stretch your right leg out behind you. And then shift your weight so that you can come onto that right hand and lift your left arm up. Reach through your toes, through your fingertips. Hold, hold, hold. And lower down. Pull back into puppy. Breathe. Okay, so come onto your forearms. You're on your knees onto your forearms and just bend your elbows because you've had them straight for a bit. And then bring them back down. So we're going to repeat that and you'll see how you're already stronger. So let's start by coming into plank first. And then lift up your right leg. Shift your weight over onto your right hand. Reach through your left arm. And then bring your foot and your hand down. And we're just going to switch to the other diagonal. So lift your left leg, shift the weight over so you're on your hand, and lift your right arm, reach, and bring it down. Come onto your knees, curl your toes under, and come onto the balls of your feet. And just for a moment, circle around in your wrists, loosen them up. You can flex and stretch, press your wrists forward. Bring the energy down into your fingertips. All right, now just rocking on the balls of your feet. So just a little bit more for our abs. Since we're down here on the floor, you'll want to be sideways on your mat. Just come into position with your forearm, your right forearm underneath you and legs stretched out. If you're able to um, flex your feet and keep a straight line here, so as though you were standing up, and bring your left arm up just behind your head. All right, so press firmly into the earth with your right forearm and palm, and then press down on your feet and arm and lift your hips up into a rounded arch, and then come back down and lift. I think this is easier than the one with the diagonal, but see how it is for you. Press down, lift up, arching, lift. See if you're getting your tapas flowing, your heat. And this time we'll hold and we'll reach up with that arm. See how free you feel. Lift your hips and lower down, soften your knees. And we'll switch to the other side. And we'll play on this side. So you want to make sure your elbow is under your shoulder. Forearm is just straight out from your elbow. Bring your right hand behind your head. Flex your feet. And then breathe and lift your hips up and lower down. You could either just touch the floor or you can let your body rest for a second on the floor. Okay, whichever way serves you best. Lift. So what I'm saying is you can pulse down and up, or you can let the weight onto the floor. And last time, lift and hold for 2 breaths. And then let your hips down. All right, very good. And come up, back onto the balls of your feet. And we'll just bring, it'll be your left leg into the high lunge. Okay. So make sure you have a little bit of room in front of you.
And just bring both palms on top of your knee, and we'll loosen up in our hips. Taking in your breath. Exhale and hinge forward. Just press forward and pull back. Inhale. Exhale out. Press on your knee. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. And just hold there. See if you can keep your hips facing front and just let those psoas, those hip flexors, stretch. Okay, from here, just bring your hands, your palms like you're holding water, cupping your palms a little bit, and then fold in your fingers for Pushpaputta Mudra. So breathing out, receiving abundance, receiving that freedom, that sovereignty that's already yours, and coming in and giving generosity. When we feel secure, we can be generous. Reaching up, I receive sovereignty and abundance. And coming in, I give generosity. And just one more time, I receive abundance and sovereignty. Draw it in. I give generosity. And then just close your palms. Press your hand on your knee. Press up into the high lunge once again. And we'll switch sides. Everybody's looking good. Aligned there. Beautiful. All right. So high lunge with the other side. Palms overlapping on that knee. Take in your breath. Exhale forward, bringing your hips into a stretch. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time, pulling back. Inhale. Exhale and come forward. Lift in your waist. There's a slight arch in the back with Pushpaputta Mudra. So just bringing palms into a cup and just bringing the ends of your fingers in a little bit. And breathe as you receive abundance and awareness of your sovereignty. Exhale it in and give generosity. And two more times at your own pace. I'll just be quiet here and let you meditate. All right. And then just closing your palms. Okay. Let's press our palms down and we'll step back into downward facing dog. We don't want to leave out down dog after our puppy. We'll let our puppy grow up into down dog. It might feel good to take your hips side to side.
And then just walk your feet in a couple of steps. Separate your feet and come down into a squat just to open up the hips a little bit more. So if you have some low back tightness, this can help if you're able to squat down. So just open your knees, go side to side. And then, if it'll work for your body, just come down in between your feet, palms together for Malasana or Goddess pose, and allow earth energy to come up into your perineum, up through your spine, out through your crown to join with that source energy. Bring it back down into your crown. Take it down through your spine and send it down into the earth. All right. And then just bring your palms down. Stretch your hands forward, lift your hips, and back into downward facing dog. Press heels down, tilt your hips up. All right. Let's just come into upward facing dog. So just roll forward, come onto the tops of your feet. Legs are firm here, and bring your chest through and just hang in traction or arch a little bit. Lift your chest, lift your chin. You can firm up in your hips to protect your low back. A really yummy stretch. And then come back over your toes. Lift up into your down dog. And just walk your feet in towards the center of your mat. Soften your knees and just hang here. Let your torso hang over your thighs. Arms can just dangle. Let your head hang and let your low back, your spinal column stretch out. Let your hips lower down a little bit. And we'll push the floor away. Slowly lift, bringing arms out to the side and up overhead. And let's come into Kali Mudra, interlacing all but your index fingers. Thumbs are side by side, and bring your arms behind you. So you're taking them to the back a little bit, just stretching. And then point your fingers towards the wall behind you. And like you're scooping out peanut butter from the jar, take your fingertips back, reach back, and scoop up, bringing arms next to your ears. Reach up. And let's come into a side stretch. That can also help our spine. So a nice stretch up. Pull up out of your waist. Breathe. And shift the weight over. Take your hips over and point your fingers to the side wall. And press down in your feet. Breathe up. We'll go to the other side. We'll warm up in this first before we hold.
See how that feels. Breathe it up to center. Reach up, lift up out of your ankles. Deep breath. Hips over and torso. Keep pointing and reaching. Press down in your feet. Lift your fingertips up. Deep breath. Exhale over to the other side. Press your hips away. Reach through your fingertips. Beautiful. Try to keep your shoulders pointed forward. Press down in your feet and lift your fingertips up. Release your mudra and open your arms out and down. Circle around. That should heat up your shoulders. Now we'll stretch them out. Reverse. Great. Shake out your arms and separate your feet mat width, and we'll come into a standing twist. Lift your outside heel. And come back to center. So you'll either turn your mat or turn your torso, turn your body sideways and step your feet apart. We'll come into a 5-pointed star. How much more free can you feel? Open, free. Turn your palms up. Receive from the source. Lift, looking heavenward, trusting, connected to the earth through your feet, to the heavens through your crown, and the stars through your fingertips. Give a little wiggle to your fingers. All right. And then turn your palms down and let your left foot out to the side. Your right heel presses away, hips pointing forward, shoulders, take in your breath, and come out into your warrior two pose. And pull it in, breathe, exhale out. Once more, breathe it in, exhale out. Okay. Settling down into your warrior two pose. Knee is over the center line of your foot. Now just bring your left forearm onto that thigh. Keep pressing feet firmly into the floor. Shoulders pointing forward. And just bring your right arm along your ear and reach through into a modified lateral angle. Look up under your arm. And then bring your arm around behind you and just reach on to your hip here, opening the shoulders even more. And then bring it out to the side as though you're reaching for an invisible rope here, and press down in your feet, lift up into warrior two, straighten your knee, just bring it right in. And we'll go to the other side. Breathe it in. Exhale out and in. Exhale and in and out, holding your pose. Feet firmly planted into the ground, and then bring your right forearm onto your thigh, opening your shoulders, and just slide your left hand alongside your ear and reach away from your foot. Rotate, look up under your arm. Whoops. There we go. And then bring that left arm around behind you and see if you can reach around to that hip, right under here. Yes. If not, close enough. Feel the openness of your heart, the strength in your legs. And then release that left arm, reach for that invisible rope, press over and draw your knee in. Turn your toes in, bend your knees. We're going to hop it in, jump. There we go. Land with bent knees so you don't land too hard. All right. And we'll release and come down into sitting for a twist. Just let's bring your palms behind you and then cross your left leg over and then take your knees over to your right. Try to keep shoulders pointing forward. Feel that twist. You can turn your head away from your bent knees to complete the twist. And then draw your knees up to vertical. Switch, cross the other leg over. Shoulders remain pointing forward. Take your knees over to the side to get your twist. Turn your head. Now, some people even like to come into eagle legs where you have your legs crossed around. That gives you a little bit more twist. Feels really good. And you can have eagle legs without standing on one foot. And then bring your knees back. Unwind your legs. Shake them out. And just a bit of a stretch over both legs. So just straight out in Dandasana. Breathe your arms up overhead. Reach up. Exhale. Starting at your hips, hinge forward, lead with your chest. Reach out over your legs. And then scoop your fingertips forward. Use your arms to lift you back up. And open arms down. Beautiful. All right. So from here, separate your feet anywhere between a foot and 18 inches. And activate your core. Pull your navel in. Start to roll your tailbone under and roll down. Roll your hips under. Stretch out that low back. And release. Arms slightly away from the body, palms up. Into Shavasana. Feel your belly rise and fall as you breathe. Noticing your breath. With your eyes closed, just visualize yourself lying in a hammock or on a tropical beach with the sun warming you, a light breeze causes you to sway. If you're in your hammock, if you're on the beach, you might feel your hair blow in the wind or your clothing. As your breathing slows down, imagine the ocean next to you, and your breath synchronizes with the rhythmic sound of the waves in and out. With each breath, feel tension in your body dissolve. Lull yourself into deep peace. And now just bring your awareness back, remaining still for now. Feel that peacefulness. And if you were able to work with the exercise early on, just remember what advice came in response to your emotion, the letter to your friend, and then a response. And trust that all is well. God has our back. So just start to bring in some little moves, hands and feet. Check your wrists, your neck, side to side, maybe, if that feels good. And then slide your feet together. Lift your knees up. Pull in for a stretch. If it feels good, you can lift your head up to meet your knees. And just come over to one side and press up into sitting, taking your time. And once again, just like early on, open your arms out to the side. Let yourself feel free, centered, sovereign, filled with loving kindness for yourself, for others, and for the source. Just bring your index finger and thumbs together in the Unity Mudra, and then bring your hands in and create that little chain, opening and closing fingers so that you're hooked in another Unity Mudra, and then palms together over your heart. Having sealed in the benefits from your practice and your exercise with the exploration of emotion, may you be filled with peace and confidence and know your sovereignty. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for class.
You're welcome.